Mr. Dennis, derived from the words of Mr. Raid, before this truce come into effect, American administration, as well as the Zionist entity, the so-called Israeli state, they said there is no negotiation with this terrorist group of Hamas. I mean, what happened to go down to a negotiation right now?
Well, again, thanks also for my part to be part of this discussion. Let us hope that this is actually a ceasefire and not just a pause in what otherwise has been a campaign to wage ethnic cleansing and genocide.
Indeed.
In the entire region of Southwest Asia. In fact, the concern from the LaRouche movement, which I represent, and the Schiller Institute and EIR magazine, is that the danger of this spreading throughout the region with provocations against Iran, which could be used then as a trigger to try to get an outright confrontation, even a nuclear war with Russia. The people deciding policy in Washington and in London are that crazy that they would seek to defend their system with everything up to nuclear war. Now, I think there has been a change of the sort that we've been talking about, both inside Israel and inside the United States. The only thing that Israel really listens to is whatever Washington says or London says. They're not particularly influenced by reason, by morality, or humanitarian codes, certainly not the Netanyahu government. But there also has been, and we should take note of this, growing resistance inside Israel and with Jewish groups in the United States against the policies of the Netanyahu government. Now, I think what has happened here is there has been a massive outpouring worldwide on this issue to stop the genocide. This has been seen in Europe. It has been seen, obviously, in the Arab world. It has been seen in the delegations, the joint delegation of the Arab League and the OIC to various capitals. And very importantly, in the meeting, the emergency meeting called of the BRICS countries, both the existing 5 and the 6 new ones, that made major statements on this question. I think all of this has influenced the situation in Washington, along with the fact that Biden is losing ground in the polls because of his policy previously of unrestricted support for Netanyahu. And there is growing opposition inside the United States as well, which our organization is part of. But I think this is a growing sentiment worldwide, and that has had an influence. My concern is that this now must grow very, very quickly. This is a very brief interlude. There must be an international conference to bring about an acceptable solution respecting the requirements and the sovereignty of the Palestinians in Palestine to solve the security needs of all of the parties involved and to go by the United Nations resolutions until now. That's going to require a change in the economic system in particular to make it possible to develop the area because otherwise the difficulties are pretty clear of achieving a strictly political solution.